past holiday season, I was in New York City visiting family, friends, and work colleagues for a couple of weeks, and I decided that for one of those weeks, I would challenge myself to only spend $100 or less surviving in New York City for the entire week. With inflation soaring, $100 doesn't go as far as it used to, so this challenge to survive in New York City on $100 in a week would be harder than it had been for others in prior years. But I was up for the challenge. Luckily, I was spending the entire week crashing on my little brother's couch. He lives in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, right off the L train, so he was in a pretty great location, and because I could crash with him, I saved a lot of money on lodging. So I had a free place to stay for the week, which was really the only way I stood a chance at conquering this challenge. The first day was Saturday, and it was the day before Christmas. I ate a late breakfast and an early lunch, like I guess you call that a brunch. So I ate brunch, and I made a homemade meal with 2 eggs, 4 slices of turkey bacon, and a cup of hot chocolate. I also ended up adding some crackers for a little bit of fiber and carbs to add to the meal, and the total for breakfast was $4.34. This weekend there was an Arctic chill, so on Saturday I mostly stayed inside and didn't go out or do many activities. Then in the evening, my sister and another one of my brothers came over to the apartment where all 4 of us hung out. We all decided to order some food and to eat in, so I had to go on a mission to find something delicious on a decent budget.
So I haven't been outside all day. There's actually an Arctic blast right now, which means that it's really freaking cold outside. Like, all of the water in the streets has frozen over. Things are pretty icy, and I'm on a mission now to go scout out like a 1-block radius to try to find some cheap eats.
Ultimately, I found an amazing Thai food place, and I ordered a chicken bao bun and some soup for $13. That chicken bao bun was delicious. So amazing. I would eat it 10 times over. So good.
Was the food good?
Delicious. Amazing.
Me and my siblings sat around enjoying a meal and laughing and just having a great old time. Then after dinner, I made myself a cup of hot cocoa, which I made from a packet that I bought at the grocery store, and that cost about 83 cents per packet. And we all just hung out on the couch and goofed around, and it was a lot of fun. The total I spent that first day was $18.17. Then on Sunday, I started the morning really strong. First, I was able to work out for free because my brother has a great workout station. Then for breakfast, I made myself 1 egg, 2 slices of turkey bacon. I cut myself up about 1.5 ounces of cheese, and I put that with 8 crackers. And I made myself a cup of hot chocolate to go along with my breakfast. The total for my breakfast was $3.89. Then I took the train to meet my sister, which cost $2.75. It was Christmas Day at this point. In Jewish tradition, we usually order in or else go out to eat some type of East Asian food because those are the only cultures that also don't celebrate Christmas. So their restaurants typically do stay open, and Jewish people typically eat East Asian food on Christmas Day.
Day 2. Today I am spending Christmas with my sister. We're gonna just do like a Jewish style Christmas. We're gonna get some Chinese food or maybe Thai food. Those are usually the only types of restaurants that are open because they also don't celebrate Christmas. And then we're going to catch a movie or watch a movie at home, and maybe just walk around a little bit the city, take in some of the Christmassy sights, maybe go through Bryant Park and all that jazz. So I'm really excited to see her and to have a laid back, chilled out Christmas day on the second day of trying to be budget conscious in New York City.
So we actually ended up getting back on the train after I got to my sister's, and I spent another $2.75 to go down to St. Mark's with her. We decided to eat Indian food, which was delicious. I ordered a fabulous madras meal and some naan because I couldn't resist the naan. They also gave us some free crackers and dips at the start. The total for my dish was a whopping $31.22 with tip, but I did have leftovers to eat for lunch the next day. After dinner, I had to take the subway back to my brother's, and I spent another $2.75 on the subway ride. I know, by the time the second day was over, I was feeling very concerned because the total for the day was $43.36, and the total for the week so far was already $61.53, which only left me $38.47 to get through the remaining 5 days over the entire remainder of the week. At this stage, I was just about ready to give up on the challenge and I wasn't feeling very optimistic, but I decided to continue on with the challenge in the hopes that I could still make it work. Monday was a much better day. I started the day with another free workout at my brother's apartment. For breakfast, I ate a banana, 1 egg, 2 slices of turkey bacon, and a cup of hot chocolate, and that total cost me $1.89. I had to go to my storage unit in New York City because during my trip to New York City, I wanted to pack up anything in the storage unit I cared about, discard or give away whatever I didn't care about, and then close out my storage unit so that I wouldn't have to keep paying for it in 2023. I spent another $2.75 on the subway to get to the storage unit. Then I brought a suitcase with me to start packing things up. After 3 hours at the storage unit, I was so tired, I didn't even go to WeWork, which I was originally planning to do. So instead, I went back home to my brother's place and I paid another $2.75 for the subway ride to get there. Then I did some work from my brother's place while eating my leftover Indian food from the day before. As a snack, later on in the day, I had a handful of grapes and about 5 crackers. And for Monday in total, I spent $9.19. And so by this point in the week, I had already spent $70.72. This day left me feeling a bit more optimistic, but it was still going to be a big challenge to get through the next 4 days with only $29.28. Tuesday morning, I woke up, made myself breakfast. I only had 1 egg, 2 slices of turkey bacon for $1.34. Then I took the subway to the New York City office for the company I work for because although I am a remote employee who works primarily from Israel, where I live, I used to work in the New York City office, and my bosses and many colleagues work there, so I wanted to be sure to get some FaceTime in with them while I was in New York City. The subway ride to work cost $2.75. At work, we have great coffee, tea, and hot cocoa selection. As you can probably tell by now, I don't drink coffee, but I do really enjoy hot chocolate, so I made myself a hot cocoa at work for free. While grabbing the hot chocolate, I saw that the company put out a tray of bagels and cream cheese for employees in the kitchen. Although I already ate breakfast, I did decide to make myself a bagel with cream cheese to eat for lunch in order to save some money on a meal. But as I sat back down to my desk, I was pleasantly surprised when one of my bosses approached me and actually offered to take me to lunch to catch up. So I ended up saving the bagel and cream cheese for later and enjoyed a lovely free lunch at an amazing, authentic Japanese restaurant near our office. Then, before finishing work, I went back to the kitchen and actually made myself another free hot cocoa because why not? And I paid another $2.75 for the train ride home on the subway. Then for dinner, I actually ate the free bagel and cream cheese that I had saved from work. So the total I spent on this day ended up only being a mere $6.84, which was my best day yet. The total spent for the week so far was now $77.56. I obviously got very lucky on this day because I had most of my meals covered by work. I don't typically work from the New York City office, and in Israel I work from home, so I certainly wasn't expecting this and was pretty happy that it allowed me to get my weekly budget back on track. I now had $22.44 remaining for the next 3 days. Wednesday. So on Wednesday, I was running a bit late to the office, so for breakfast, I just quickly grabbed a banana to take with me to eat on the way. The banana only cost about 24 cents, and then I hopped on the train and the subway, which of course cost $2.75. But this time it came with a free music show because there was a live saxophone player, and I didn't have cash on me to give to the guy, and I was also on a strict budget, but I did give him an applause and a kind smile. When I got to work, I of course made myself a free hot cocoa. They actually had bagels again, and since I only had a banana for breakfast, I was happy to make myself a bagel with butter at work, which I ate at my desk while I worked. After work, I went to visit my sister at her apartment in Midtown Manhattan. I actually did a tour of her apartment, which I will link at the end of this video. While I was there, she actually gave me a gluten-free, dairy-free muffin that she had baked, and it was very, very, very delicious and free for me because it was a gift from her. Then I actually had a cup of ramen in my bag, so I made myself a cup of ramen to eat for dinner while I sat with her, caught up, and we watched The White Lotus together. The cup of ramen cost $1.19. I then took the subway back to my brother's apartment for another $2.75. The total spend for Wednesday was only $6.93, and my total so far for the week was $84.49. This left me only $15.51 to get me through the next 2 days in New York City. On Thursday morning, I only made myself 4 pieces of turkey bacon and a cup of tea for breakfast. I was determined to meet my budget for the week. Luckily, the tea was from my brother's cupboard, so I kind of stole it from him, but the turkey bacon cost me $1.60. I then took the subway to work for $2.75 and again made myself a cup of cocoa at work for free. I also took an apple from a fruit bowl at work and had that as a snack to supplement my light breakfast. Then before I finished work, I had a second cup of cocoa at work. But I was pretty busy this day and didn't actually have time to eat lunch. But I got very lucky once again because a managing director that I work with invited me for a meeting at Nobu to catch up on some work matters. And I had never actually been to Nobu before, but I heard amazing things. It was absolutely incredible and of course, very appreciated to be able to eat such a luxury high-end meal for free in a week when I was sticking to such a tight budget. We had some delicious sushi and a few great appetizers. I definitely understood the Nobu hype. Then, after dinner, I took the subway home for another $2.75. The total for Thursday was therefore $7.10 spent out of pocket, and my total for the week was $91.59. I got really excited as I woke up on Friday because I was feeling amazing and very confident that I could get through the day on only $8.41. At this point, you're probably thinking that I accomplished the goal and la-di-da, everything went the same as it had on the last 3 days, but I wasn't as mentally prepared to handle this last day as I thought I would be, and things did not go according to plan. On Friday morning, the day started strong. My brother made some pancakes with his amazing protein-packed pancake mix that tasted great. He actually gave me a pancake for free, which was yummy and delicious and cost me nothing. I also made myself 4 slices of turkey bacon for $1.60 and made myself a cup of hot chocolate for 83 cents. As a snack, I stole some cookies from my brother. I didn't actually steal them, but he made some home-baked cookies and he gave me 2, just out of the love in his heart. Then I didn't eat for a while, but ended up having a late lunch with some salmon and Brussels sprouts that I made at his home in his air fryer, and this cost me a total of $8.34. Now, I wish I would have stopped there, which I honestly could have because it was about 5:30 p.m. and I could have easily managed to get through the rest of the day without spending any more money. Had I stopped here, my total for the day would have been $10.77, and I would have only spent $102.36 over the entire week. And I would have personally considered that a victory. But
So you guys, I haven't tallied everything up yet from the week, but if I didn't make the 100, which I don't think I did, I feel like I did pretty well. I feel like that's like last night, could stay home, that's it, job well done, hit my goal, amazing. But obviously that's not what we're gonna do because, you know, I am in New York City, it's a Friday night, I'm originally from here and they're friends I haven't seen in a really long time and they want to go to dinner and I'm like, you know what? You can't just like be in New York City and do a surviving in New York City on $100 a week, but just be lame and make all, like just eat at home and do nothing with your week. You gotta have an interesting week or else it's kind of like cheating in the whole point of being in New York and doing this challenge in New York. So I'm gonna go to dinner and I'm gonna try to get some budget-friendly dish.
so I took the subway for $2.75. Luckily this time I also got a free show because there was a live dance show on the train. Then I met my friends and my sister at an amazing Mexican restaurant near Union Square, and there I ordered some barbacoa tacos and some Mexican street corn. I also split guacamole with the girls. I honestly didn't need to order so much food, but at this point I felt I had given into temptation and it was difficult to pull myself back. I ultimately spent $36.80 on the dinner, including tip. Then, of course, I spent another $2.75 on the train ride home. I know, you're judging me. So my total for the week ended up being $144.66. So I was over budget by $44.66 in just just the final few hours of the week. I was pretty disappointed in myself, but all things considered, I feel I did a decent job of being frugal most of the week. And also in the end, spending less than $150 for an entire week in New York City is still a pretty amazing accomplishment when you think about it, especially when you factor in inflation. Of course, none of this would have been possible if I couldn't crash with my brother or mooch off of the free food that I got at work. New York City is just terribly expensive, so I'm still very proud of myself ultimately in the end for keeping it below $150. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, you should click this next video here to watch a special apartment tour where I show off my sister's apartment in Midtown Manhattan, which is fully furnished and is in one of the best locations in Manhattan. Thank you guys all so much for watching.